Hi, and welcome to this episode of Diana Shares. This is an update about the Epstein files and New Mexico. New Mexico legislators have formed a truth commission to investigate the Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, which was formerly owned by convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The parameters of the commission have to do with whether state and local officials investigated properly the allegations about alleged wrongdoing at the Zorro Ranch. Truth Commission is actually a good way to go, and it can accomplish a lot of things that often law enforcement authorities, especially at the local level, cannot do because of their jurisdictions, the authorities under which they operate, there sometimes can be hamstrung. A commission, a state commission, has the authority to be more broader in scope and can be more freewheeling, whereas law enforcement has to stick to, well, we have a crime, we're going to investigate it and follow the evidence. A truth commission can also seek evidence. It can subpoena documents and interview witnesses. And I believe there are a lot of witnesses in New Mexico who can tell the legislators about what they saw, what they heard, what they observed on the property. And I'm talking about people who worked there. This is a big facility, a big property, very large grounds, hundreds of acres. And to maintain all of that required many workers, okay? Now, the Guardian of London has an article about the Truth Commission, and KOB4 TV reported on the Commission's first meeting today. Lasted a short time, basically, again, to go over the parameters. What are our boundaries? What are we going to look for? What are we looking at? And this part was not in the Guardian article or in that KOB4 report. There are certain Epstein files maintained by the U.S. Department of Justice that contained an unsettling message about the alleged murders of 2 foreign women who were killed and buried at the ranch. Let that sink in, please. Some of the most damaging files, though, are being deleted after they were uploaded for public view. And this was among other sources reported by Redacted Inc. The deletion of files that were uploaded by DOJ, and then suddenly, this is a little too much. Let's take them back down. Let's hide them again. There are also messages in the Epstein files alleging that Epstein had asked former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson to help Epstein with a friend who was trying to obtain a state license. I won't go into more details about that, but give us some help with the red tape here, and apparently this happened. The new owner of the Zorro Ranch, according to Redacted Inc., in a podcast yesterday, is said to be open to having officials investigate the property. He has no problem with people coming in there. I mean, he is not linked to any wrongdoing. And it was also mentioned that the property has been subdivided, cut up into smaller parcels. It's a very big, big, big parcel, and those parcels being sold to other people. But because the Epstein network is global, the United Nations ought to consider forming a commission to look into the international network that was used to abuse and traffic girls and young women. You got people, high-profile people mentioned in many countries and in different positions who were linked to Epstein and attended events at his apartments in New York, Paris, the Zorro Ranch, the islands, Now, so far we've seen concrete steps taken by the UK royals in relation specifically to Prince Andrew, and in Norway, related to a former prime minister mentioned in the files. As far as like these are the only bodies we know of that have taken action against prominent men who appeared in the files. Now, what is DOJ in the United States waiting on to go after high-profile perpetrators in this country? And many folks were named in those files, and they weren't just having crumpets and tea. They haven't been, as far as I know, they haven't been subpoenaed and questioned on it, much less with the idea of prosecution. This was Diana Washington Valdez for the DigiZone Network, another episode of Diana Shares, sharing the news here. Glad to see that the victims are not being forgotten here, that we have victims known and unknown, and if we have people who were murdered in the process of some of these events that have been described in the files that are disturbing, that are almost unthinkable, much as unmentionable. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought we'd be here in 2026 talking about such dark things? Until the next episode of Diana Shares the News, we'll see you then.